Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we are going to be talking about love, and we're going to be talking about the way that love can make you crazy, the way love can make you do things that you might not necessarily want to do. It can make you do things that your better judgment tells you not to do. So we're going to talk about this idea a little bit. Ish starts this off with fire, so I'm not going to prolong this intro that much more. If you guys like this content, please like, comment, subscribe. We're doing a giveaway of 500 subscribers, so you guys have to comment and be subscribed to be included in that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in a second.
Give me some ganja. That's number right there.
I get where you
right. You not when you in love, dog. It's you not in control no more.
Right.
I'm talking about not love somebody. When you're in love with somebody, you don't control what you're doing.
Why?
I feel that.
Expound on that for me. I know that's
love
common
makes
saying.
you crazy. Yo,
but let's think through that.
All
a
right,
little
so
bit.
Okay, he's like, why? Okay, so before he continues, I just want to say I absolutely agree with him. I think love makes you do things that you weren't necessarily going to do beforehand. I think love can change the way you do things dramatically. I think it can change the outcome of events. I believe it could be the difference between life or death in certain cheating situations, like with families. You hear tons of stories of people killing each other over things like that. Not like cheating, like, oh, the wife cheated on this person, so the man killed the other guy, or the wife killed a man that cheated on her, all that kind of stuff. So in my opinion, the way love makes you illogical is because love at the end of the day is an emotion. The more your emotions are driving your actions and driving your reactions to things, the more illogical you're probably going to be. I can't say necessarily, but I can say most of the time. If you're acting out and you're acting all crazy and you normally don't, and it's only with that one person, or it's only with whoever you love, okay, well, maybe you need to stay away from this. Maybe you need to think about things a little bit differently. Maybe you need to move around a little bit differently. Love will definitely put you in positions that you didn't see yourself being in. I think everyone that's a little bit older has loved somebody in their life. Most people have been heartbroken. I also think that most people think that they've been heartbroken until it actually happens. And then when it happens, I think everything changes. Everything about you changes. The core of your being, the core of your personality, all of that changes if you've been hurt enough. If you have tried giving yourself to somebody and everything that you have, after that, it will change you. It will make you feel different about things. It'll make you less prone to jumping into relationships and all that. Most people, not everyone, but most people. Let's continue.
when you in love with somebody, right? I'm talking about your common sense is gone, right? You're not scared to show your vulnerability. Like, you don't have that macho shit you had when you first met them. When that's gone,
Yeah.
you're not in control no more.
And you might even act against your better judgment.
Exactly. That's my point.
How many guys do you know? How many guys yourself watching? Because most of the people watching this are male. How many of you guys have been with a girl that completely made you take down all your walls? And when I say completely, I mean, you know that one comes to your mind. That one comes to your mind that made you take down every wall that you had. You're completely yourself with them. You're completely your fun self, your silly self, your emotional self. You let all these things down. And then something happened. The girl hurt you. The girl played you. The girl messed with you. The girl took advantage of you. Something like that. How often do these things happen? And then after that, what happens? Turn into a demon. What happens after that? You're not interested in doing those things again. You're not interested in being that same person to anyone, and you're a lot more less likely to jump into a relationship, because that's where I'm at. I'm not interested in just being with anyone. I don't care about what you look like. I don't care about how sexy you are, how attractive you are, nothing. If you don't have some kind of attachment that I can have to you, and if you don't have some kind of safety in who you are, like I know who you are, I can trust who you are, that kind of stuff, I'm not taking the chance of being with you, whoever you are. I don't care. People that can't be single, that's pathetic. That's sad. And that's also harmful to the people around you, and harmful to your own mental health and to your surroundings. You can walk that way if you want, but I don't. I choose not to.
You're not in control.
You might know better.
Fam, you looking in the mirror like, what the fuck are you doing? When you get into that,
How many of you have been there? Because I've been there.
When you're younger
You
too,
still
you
feel
also
like that as an adult?
Yeah.
How that love can make you do those things?
You serious?
Not could.
When he says you feel that like that as an adult, okay, this is a different kind of love, but imagine the love that you have for children, your kids. What would you do for your kids? You do anything for your kids. Anything for your kids. When you fall in love with somebody, I'm not saying that's on the same level as children, but it's right after that. If there's a 1B, it's right there.
Could.
Does. Not could. It's going to.
We know that it can. But how often does that happen to y'all as adults?
I mean, I've been in a relationship
It
so
only
long.
happens as
I can't
adults.
imagine if I was single, still running into some of those things. Like,
He says, how often does that happen as adults? How often are you truly in love? It doesn't happen a lot. People will run around saying they love people after a week or two, a month or two, whatever. That's not what love is to me. To experience love, you have to experience turmoil. Because how do you know that you love this person if there's never been anything that could potentially drive you guys apart? That's how I feel. I think that you can love someone without any turmoil? Yeah, you can. But I'm saying there needs to be something to challenge, not necessarily the relationship, but something to challenge the love that you guys have with each other. Whether it's, oh, I want to do this, but I don't, but the other person doesn't want to do this. Am I going to change for that person? Are they going to change for me? Little things like that. But all those things add up over time. All of those things. And love is about sacrifices. It's about the sacrifices you're willing to make for the other person.
rational love.
I don't feel like I become irrational or less logical or like I make worse decisions than I do when I'm not in love. I just feel like now I have someone else to consider.
Right.
And with that comes a whole nother world of things to consider that me alone I'd have never thought about. Nor would I have cared to ever think about.
And when you're young, you also don't know what you're looking for yourself. Like when I was,
You don't know who you are.
when I was young, it would be a girl that maybe had a nicer apartment and could cook or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
You
Like,
value
she could
that
kinda-
more.
Parks is talking about a girl of higher quality. How many of you guys have went for girls that they may not have necessarily had these kinds of things, and you're in a position where you're taking care of the person. You're taking care of the other person as much as you can. You're trying to teach the person because they're asking you questions about things that you thought everyone knew. Those kinds of things. When you're helping somebody out and you love that person and you're growing with that person slowly or quickly, whether you're growing alone or they're growing with you, things start to change, man. Things start to change. Your outlook on things start to change. Logic starts to change. And if the other person is at all struggling with their mental health or their mentality or anything like that, that will affect you greatly if you're in love.
take care of
You
me.
value
Or
that.
has some
And now that
fire.
I'm older, I'm like, well, that was also thrown in the mix. You know what I mean? So
It's the truth.
And now that I'm older, I can provide all those things myself. It's
Gotcha.
like,
So it don't hold
You
as
at
much value.
45, you're not more irresponsible because you in love or make worse decisions because you in love or treat people differently because you in love, like, right?
Who said that? No, I'm talking about when you're in love, right? And things start going badly. You are way, way, way more tolerant of those things than when you're not in love. You'll throw the walk away, pew, I'm out, peace.
Ooh, and this hits home. This hits home because there have been relationships. There's been a relationship that I've been in where a lot of things happened, but that a lot of things that I wouldn't have taken before, I wouldn't have tolerated before. A lot of people wouldn't have. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I make mistakes too. I've made mistakes. I made mistakes in that relationship, but when things happen and you're in love with the other person, things that really hurt you, you are so much more willing to accept it and try to make small changes and adjustments in order to make sure that you can continue on with that person. Especially if you're building with that person, really building with the person, if you live with the person, had kids with the person, property with the person. All those things, it changes the outlook on the relationship, and it changes the outlook on leaving the relationship. The more you become invested with someone, meaning the more property you have, the more investments you have, the more businesses you have, the more kids you have, all that kind of stuff, the harder it will be to separate from the relationship, the harder it will be for you guys to go your separate ways, the harder it will be for you to fall out of love. The more you have to deal with the person afterwards is also a huge factor. Huge factor. So let me know what you guys think down below about this, for sure, because this is a sensitive topic. Maybe somebody older will be able to spit some game on me and let me know, like, yo, this isn't all the time. This is only with toxic relationships, or this is only with this kind of relationship, or whatever it may be. But anyone that can spit game, that knows a little bit more, that has been through all this and come out the other end, let me know and let other people know in the comments below, because this is a common occurrence that goes on with a lot of people.
When you in love, you know this is wrong, you still will endure it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the grace that comes with love.
I know.
And
But
it's not I'm more tolerant
Very
when
hard.
things are bad. It's I'm more tolerant
because I'm in love.
because I'm in love.
I agree.
But that could be thinking.
No, it's I'm more tolerant when things are bad because I'm in love. It's all of it. It's not just I'm more tolerant because I'm in love. I'm more tolerant all the time, good and bad.
But
Get your better judgment.
Exactly.
Even
So
that,
even
I
you-
know I should not stay and deal with this.
Yeah.
Because it's whether it be toxic, whatever it could be.
This dude is busting
But
my
I'm
ass
still
twice a month
here because
and
of
I'm
love.
still here
Well,
because
now
I
when you
love
go to
him.
the worst possible scenario.
Yeah, that's what I'm
not
saying.
talking
No, that's
about
what I
that.
mean.
I didn't even name a scenario.
No, I was giving you one of the. I'm going to a harsh one. Yo, when people are being abused, whether verbally, whether physically, or whatever, fam, you know this is not a good situation for you. One of my homegirls, right?
And it happens so much from everyone. Mental abuse and verbal abuse, or sorry, abuse, verbal abuse, and sometimes physical abuse. And as these things happen, you start to trauma bond with that person. And as you trauma bonding is it's like you're bonding with this person because they're doing this to you. It's not because of that alone. But I want to do this term justice. Trauma bonding is a type of attachment that one can feel towards someone who's causing them trauma. It brings with it not only feelings of sympathy, compassion, and love, but also confusion, licensed mental health counselor says. So it could become a cycle of, if I'm loved, I'm abused. It's my fault and I need to please them. Many don't even make the connection that they are, in fact, being abused. So a lot of people that suffer from mental abuse and physical abuse, especially from early childhood, sexual abuse too, they become trauma bonded with people. Feel stuck and powerless, but want to make the best of it. You don't know if you trust the other person, but you can't leave. You describe your relationship as intense and complex. There are promises of things getting better in the future. You focus on the good in the person despite behaviors you know are abuse. You think you can change your abusive partner. Your friends or family have advised you to leave the relationship, but you stay. You find yourself defending the relationship if others criticize it. The abusive partner constantly lets you down, but you believe them anyways. So, yeah, man, when you are used to trauma bonds, especially as a child. I graduated with a degree in psychology from Ohio State, so I feel like I have a place to talk about this. When you experience trauma bonding as a kid, you are more pronounced and more prone to having trauma bonding relationships in the future, especially the interpersonal relationships and the closest relationships that are to you. So yeah, guys, let me know if you guys have ever been trauma bonded with someone. Let me know if you guys have experienced anything that may make you feel like you're going through trauma.
This not too long ago, she's dating a dude. The dude be mean to her kids. The dude be beating her ass. Her kids is seeing this. Fam, she's like, yo, I know he's not good for me. People be looking in the mirror like, what are you doing? Like, you know this is not good. This is not even.
Yep, this is so true. This is so true. And then as these things happen, the kids see it. And when think about the person that's going through these things. Think about the person that's on the receiving end of this, that's receiving it all the time. How are they going to feel after so much time? They're not going to be able to take it anymore either. They may flip out. They may go crazy, which isn't going to be good for the kids to see either. Regardless of what you're doing, regardless of if what you're doing is explainable, regardless of what you're doing is right or wrong, outside of the context of the children and your relationship. If you would have always acted this way regardless of who it is, and this person won't stop, that situation is toxic and it isn't good for you. So you should leave the situation too. Doesn't matter. I understand the love. I understand wanting to be there with kids. I understand wanting to be there because you own this house and you don't want to lose this house. All those life things that happen, I understand. But you don't want your kids watching these things. You'll have to leave at some point if the other person's unwilling to change. There's certain cultures, like my parents from Panama and Puerto Rico. Panama, when you move, you stay in that home and you stay there pretty much until you die. It's a lot different than the US. You move every couple of years. In Panama, you pretty much live in one house and you do not move, really. The wealth there is a lot different too. They don't have any wealth compared to here. So their tolerance of a relationship and their willingness to work things out is different. Their ability to work things out and their mentality about staying together is different. So you'll hear about a lot of like crazy Jamaican parents, crazy Puerto Rican parents, etc., and how wild that they can get. When you hear about how wild that they get, they still remain together though. And I'm not saying that's always a good thing, but I do think that my generation and the generations afterwards, if they want monogamous relationships or if they want relationships that end in marriage, things are going to have to change because people are really willing right now to just jump and flop out of relationships and just run and find the next thing. That's what's happening all the time. I don't think a lot of people are still in the mentality of, okay, if things are going wrong, maybe we should work them out. Maybe we should try to work things out. If we're both doing wrong, if one person is constantly abusing the other person, you need to leave. If there's abuse going on, I think you should leave the situation. But there are a lot of relationships that do stay together through these things. So when they do stay together, what are the best things that we could do to help them? Versus, let's just be as toxic as we can and try to destroy this, even though they're not willing to. So, yeah, guys, food for thought.
Maybe. You
sending me down like a weird rabbit hole.
I had a question about this from homegirl too. Shoot, go ahead, Joe.
Dog, you know this is not good. Your kid is seeing this. This is not representation that you want to show your kid of a good relationship.
These are just things that you think about, right? Because in the event that you're trying to practice healthy co-parenting, and I don't have these talks on the air because people always think I'm talking about me and mine, and I'm not.
So this is where that other video that I have comes in that I made last week. So if you guys are interested in that, click on my profile and you guys will see it on the Joe Budden playlist. Also, I might tag it above. You guys should see it up there, but it's not going to be timestamped, so I'm sorry. If you guys are interested though, for sure, click that subscribe button. Click that like button and comment on my videos, please. It helps me out tremendously, helps the channel out tremendously. And we're en route to 1,000 subscribers. Let me know how you guys feel about the video. Let me know how you guys feel about this situation, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.